AI data centers, electric vehicle charging networks, advanced manufacturing. They all run on electricity, and demand is exploding. We're talking about the kind of surge that could strain our grid, slow our economy, and give our competitors a strategic advantage if we don't get this right. Hi, I'm Kevin Madden. I'm a senior partner at Pentagroup, where I help companies navigate the intersection of policy, politics, and public perception. And right now, one of the biggest disconnects I see is between Washington's energy rhetoric and America's energy reality. Today, I want to discuss 3 hard truths the U.S. policymakers must come to terms with if we are to meet this moment. Let's start with the most obvious problem. We can't build anything fast enough. Right now, it takes an average of 5 years, sometimes 10, to permit and build a new power plant or transmission line in the United States. Think about that. In the time it takes to get one project approved, China builds dozens. And it's not just power plants, it's pipelines, it's grid infrastructure. Transmission lines that could connect energy to cities sit in regulatory limbo for years. Here's the truth. If we don't fix permitting, none of the other energy goals matter. You can't compete without building, you can't power AI without expanding the grid, you can't compete globally if it takes a decade to approve infrastructure. Permitting reform isn't a partisan issue, it's a competitiveness issue. And the longer we wait, the further behind we fall. Policymakers need to come to terms with this. Streamlining permitting isn't about cutting corners. It's about cutting through the red tape that's strangling our ability to build the future. Here's the second hard truth. We're going to need every possible source of power. If we want to keep the lights on, if we want factories running, data centers operating, and electric vehicles charging, we need baseload power. And that means we need to keep existing nuclear plants online and build new ones. It means expanding natural gas capacity as a bridge fuel, and it means being honest about the timeline for renewables to fully scale up. And all the above energy strategy isn't a compromise, it's a necessity. Policymakers need to stop treating energy policy like an ideological battleground and start treating it like what it is, the foundation of our economy and our national security. You can't have industrial policy without energy policy, you can't reshore manufacturing without reliable power, and you can't lead in AI if the grid can't handle the load. So here's the bottom line. We need every tool in the toolbox. Solar, nuclear, natural gas, geothermal, coal. We need all of it because the demand isn't slowing down and neither are our competitors. Now the third hard truth. Energy policy isn't just made in Washington. It's made or blocked in city councils, county boards, and state legislatures across the country. You could pass the best energy bill in Congress, but if the local community says, not in my backyard, that project isn't getting built. And right now, that's happening everywhere. Communities block solar arrays because of concerns about farmland. They fight transmission lines near their homes. People have strong opinions about their communities. But here's the tension. We have national energy needs that require local buy-in. And right now, we're not doing a very good job of bridging that gap. Federal policymakers need to understand that writing checks and setting mandates isn't enough. You have to bring the community into the process early. You have to show them that these projects create jobs, they lower energy costs, and they improve reliability. You have to address concerns head-on, whether that's about land use, environmental impact, or even visual aesthetics. Now, the flip side is also true. Local leaders need to think beyond their own borders. Energy infrastructure is regional. A power plant in one state powers homes in another, and a transmission line through one county benefits an entire region. We can't let parochialism strangle our ability to build the grid that we need. So the solution here is partnership. Federal policy needs to create the framework and the funding. State and local leaders need to work with communities to build support. And industry needs to show up early, listen, and be transparent about what they're building and why. Because at the end of the day, energy infrastructure gets built at the local level. And if we don't figure out how to align federal ambition with local reality, we're going to keep falling short. So let's recap. 3 hard truths about America's energy future. 1, fix permitting. We can't compete if it takes a decade to build anything. 2, embrace an all-of-the-above strategy. We need baseload power, and we need it now. 3, bridge the federal-local divide. National energy goals require local buy-in, and that takes real partnership. Here's why this matters. Energy isn't just about keeping the lights on. It's about everything that depends on those lights. Manufacturing, innovation, defense, cost of living. If we get energy right, we can lead in AI, reshore critical industries, and outcompete China. If we get it wrong, we'll spend the next decade playing catch-up, watching other countries build the future while we're still arguing about permits. The demand is already here. The question is whether we're ready to meet it.